Joe Builds. And recently in the comment section and some of my head porting videos, it has brought up a couple of times on when I did the chamber work on the heads, whether or not you will have a shelf and not, or have anything that may impede airflow. And because I used a head gasket to actually scribe the head, and it's something that I always done, and I read it as a kid in Hot Rod magazine, and some reputable builders do it that way. But it was brought to me that I should probably put the head on the block and then scribe from the inside on a bare block like this one, and scribe and make the marks for the chambers. And what it said makes perfect sense. It actually it sounds like it's a valid point. So what we're gonna do today is the head that I ported. We haven't got to go bring it to the machine shop yet, but it's all finished. It has even a finished valve job. I brought it to a friend, and it doesn't seem like his flow bench is working properly, so I had to bring it to somewhere else. And I have behind this camera a bunch of other projects going on, so it's soon that you will be seeing soon here on Bro Joe Builds. And I just wanted to show this block and see if, you know, if whatever is being said has a valid point, you know. And I honestly believe that they do have a valid point, and I'm pretty much here to see if I could prove myself wrong, you know. So without further ado, let's get to it. So here's the head. Again, this is the finished port. We're just gonna try not to drop it like I just did, but set it in place, and then we're just gonna leave one bolt to solder in. Cool story with this block. It's just a 350 block. It is bored 40 over, but that's gonna come into question later, right? Because of how much bore size, you know, to clearance on the chambers. But this motor was inside of my Chevette. This block was, and I had a little incident, and I wanted to make sure that everything was okay, and everything turned out to be okay. I didn't have to pull the motor apart, but pulled it apart, had another short block ready to go, slapped the heads on it, and went out at least one more time before the season was over. So roll everything over. Alright, so looking from this angle, it seems to me that they had a mild point. Those who have mentioned it in the comment section, where there is a mild shelf that will impede flow. On the intake side, it's not really that bad on this chamber, but it seemed like depending on the port alignment on each cylinder, it could be off a little bit to one side more than the other. On this one, on the intake side, it's very, it's very minuscule. I actually don't think on the intake side here on this port that it would be much of an effect. But on the exhaust side, right here is a decent little shelf. It's kind of in the mild side though as well, but it can be a flow restriction later on. Now my thing is, and I will have to put another cylinder head to find out, is there a problem just with the stock cylinder head? Will the stock cylinder head actually come in a little bit under the chamber like it does here? That I'm not sure about. But if you look I mean, obviously, there's like a mild, you almost hear it. It does go over. Now, I know some Ford engines, like this Ford Cleveland, and I think David Vizard, and some of his videos, or his, when he does big block Chevys, he actually clearances the top of the deck a little bit, just so that you get rid of this shelf right on the chamber. Where I don't think this head is going to be a problem, and I was actually going to use the cylinder head on a 400 block. Now, using the cylinder head on a 400 block, all this won't be an issue. This is far away enough that it's not going to come anywhere near the bore on a 400 block. But since a 400 block has a 4 1/8 bore, and this one's bore 30 over, so it's 4155. This won't be an issue in the 400 block. I originally was going to use this head in a 350 block, but I acquired another block, and you know how that goes. You go with what you have, the best thing that you have. So that's what I want to go with this cylinder head, and this won't be an issue for me, but it's something to look into, and maybe when I do another engine coming soon, especially I have an engine that is going to have a much bigger valve too, that I might be putting together, a 2100 valve. I want to put the head on the same block and see, you know, as the valve gets bigger and gets closer and closer to this bore, will the bore actually become a flow hindrance, you know, especially with the stock valve spacing, you know. You know, looking at it, I don't know. You know, there's so much that we learn by experience, and we just we keep building, and the more we build, the more we learn, right? Through experience. So with that being said, this is Bro Joe Builds. I hope you enjoy. This is just going to be a little short educational, you could say, video where I get educated myself. So take care, guys, and God bless.